Good afternoon, Second Street families. I'm Sam Sams, principal of Second Street School, with an update on what school looks like Monday, March 1st. So February 1st, we started our phase-in process, bringing in our kindergarten students and our first grade students. We then progressed to bringing in our second and third grade students for a full day, which concluded this week. Starting this coming Monday, March 1st, we will phase in our full building, having kindergarten through 8th grade in the building for a full day. That means doors open at 7:30 and we will dismiss all students at 2:30 each day. Obviously, this change comes with some more logistical changes and schedule changes for you all. So we wanted to give you some information on what to expect on Monday. So let's go ahead and get started here. So starting Monday, we have 55 days left of this school year. So we are 55 and ready to thrive. We are so excited to see such a large group of students coming back in the building and seeing faces. It's been a bolt of energy for our students and staff, and we are looking forward to these last 55 days. I want to briefly discuss the color system that we have gone off of all year long. Currently, Franklin County is orange. We've gotten out of that red zone and we are declining. So I'm hoping to see yellow, fingers crossed, very soon. These colors used to dictate what the state was saying about instruction. These colors used to be what kind of drove us with some of our decision. That is no longer the case. The state has backed off on providing guidance to students based on these colors, and I am putting them as our Facebook, Instagram, Twitter our profile pictures in order to keep you updated on what our county is. But at this point, they no longer represent decision-making abilities. They do not provide that for us at this point, but I will definitely keep you updated as that changes. So as going forward, I want to talk about Monday first. Got ahead of myself for a second. So in-person instruction on Monday, buses will be picking up students as early as 7 a.m. So please have your students up and ready to go, and they will run those normal routes. The school doors will open at 7:30 for our walkers and our car riders, as well as our bus riders. Breakfast will be available upon entering the building, and lunch will occur in the building and will be 6 feet apart. Dismissal will occur at 2:30. So we have eliminated that 11 o'clock dismissal and will now only have one, which will occur at 2:30. For our virtual students, your schedules will be provided by your teachers. However, I want you to be aware that schedules could change for our virtual students as early as March 8th due to some logistical changes that are happening inside the building. So I want to go ahead and make you aware of that today. I did send out a survey today where I asked all parents who have virtual students to complete in order to find out what your wants are for your child for the remaining 55 days of school. And with this transition to K-8 in the building, we still have virtual as an option. So if you're ready to come back in the building, you can come back as early as March 1st. But I gave a little leeway and a decision knowing that we couldn't get that survey over the weekend, that survey needs to be completed and we need to see decisions and things changing no later than March 8th. I do have a little date as April 5th here because that is the date after our spring break, and leaving that open as an option, but I need the majority of our structuring to happen as early as March 8th. But please know that's up for discussion. If you want to have that discussion with me, please email me and we can set up a time to talk about what those options might look like after spring break. When we do hit that April 5th mark, we will only have 25 days left of school. What does food look like? As I had mentioned before, breakfast will be available upon entering the building for our in-person students, and then lunch will be served in the cafeteria, 6 feet socially distanced. All virtual students will have the option to pick up food every Monday here at 2nd Street from 11:30 to 12:30. I just have a few more things to add for these changes. Attendance is crucial for your child. It is so important that if they have chosen in-person instruction and you as a family has chosen in-person instruction, that they are here every single day. I also ask that if your child is remaining virtual, that they show up to every session on time. It is so important that we get as much instructional time with these students as possible. I also want to mention that we are going to have an influx of car riders on Monday. And what I ask is that kids are ready to hop out of the car in the morning. As you're sitting through the tunnel, let's get those backpacks on, those masks on. Let's go ahead and get unbuckled and be ready to exit once you reach the front of the building. I also ask that when you pick up students and drop off, that parents, you do not exit the vehicles. Please stay in your vehicles, both at drop off and pickup, to help the line move faster. If your child needs assistance buckling themselves, please feel free to pull off in our parking lot before you hit the main road and buckle your child in before leaving our parking lot. A big thing on the calendar coming up is on March 9th, we are having Picture Day. So we are going to have Picture Day during this COVID virtual year on March 9th. And all of that done will happen in the building during the school day. However, we do have an hour pocket from 11 to 12 that day where any of our virtual students are able to come in and get their school picture taken from 11 to 12. If for some reason families aren't comfortable with coming in the building for that, we will arrange to have a picture put in our virtual yearbook in a different manner. I also want to emphasize the amount of construction that is occurring in and around our school building. A lot is going to be happening, and I want you to be prepared for the interesting traffic patterns that could be occurring and how you're going to get to and from school. So I just ask that you give yourself a little bit more time and prepare for those because they are a little unknown. So I ask that you just be ready and be flexible because we understand that it is a lot and it is taking up a lot of streets. So just please be aware of those things. Those were a few things I want to hit, and I always like to leave with our COVID precautions because they are so important. I want to reiterate that masks are mandatory. So as our entire building K through 8 comes back, we are masked. Staff, students, masked all the time. Breakfast is in the classroom. We do give a 10-minute timer to keep that mask down if need be. And at lunch, we are still remaining 6 feet apart, so that is not an issue. I also ask that no suckers or anything that require a mask to be down for a longer amount of time than getting a sip of water be prohibited. We need those masks up, covering the nose and the mouth at all times. We also ask and remind you that if anyone in your household, especially your student or anyone your student has been around, has tested positive, we ask that you report that to our COVID hotline at 502-234-4843. We have that information, and that helps us mitigate the spread throughout other students in the building. So that is a reminder, and it is a requirement by law to notify us if students are tested positive, but we must know the information about other family members in order to keep everyone here at school as safe as possible. So again, I just want to thank you for your time on this Friday afternoon. I hope everyone has a wonderful, wonderful weekend, and we are very excited for the transition into a full phase-in kindergarten through 8th grade on Monday, March 1st, 2021. Remember, 55 days left, and we are ready to thrive. Have a great weekend.